With a new sharpened focus on the opportunities at the top of your sorted progress master list, enabled by connecting and reconnecting with the stakeholders in your potential people sheet, let's now think about how to network. Even this word makes some people feel uncomfortable, especially those who are more introverted or in any way find it hard to get out there. For the less extroverted people I've coached, I've found it sometimes helpful to both rename network to say community building, or some other way to phrase it. More importantly, to think of authentic networking as something of two-way benefit. As I mentioned earlier, when we're on the hunt and clearly wanting and needing help, we tend to underestimate that our knowledge, our attitude, perspective, curiosity, and energy has many benefits to others. Maybe my biggest point is to lean into your interest and curiosity. I love the quote, "Be interesting by being interested." I mentioned in the potential module about setting a goal to be aware. That's the one I had. And to journal about a serendipitous moment that led to something important. Many of my own roles have actually come from this openness and curiosity. Before I joined Yale here, I had moved with my young family from the UK to the US East Coast, and when I got here, I started a low-key hunt for my next big move. And a few people in my new hometown kept mentioning I should meet Dan. Dan was fortunately told that he should meet this new guy, Peter, who works in international climate change and leadership stuff. So we got together, and he immediately said I needed to meet his friends Brad and Stu. They're at Yale. I had not thought of a headlong dive into an academic institution, and I didn't even know where Yale was. It's okay, it's not far away, you'll find it, Dan smiled at me. 10 years later, and I'm still here and talking to you from the Purvu Center for Teaching and Learning studio downtown, supported by my appointments at the Yale School of the Environment, the Yale Center of Business and the Environment. So please be open, please be curious. Whether you're building out your progress master list or you're already hunting from the top of the list, I can't overstate the power of LinkedIn. It's not only your most useful, constantly updated directory of contacts, it's also one of the best ways to follow, connect, and keep track of everyone in your chosen field. You're probably already doing it for your current or past jobs, but now's the time to really step up as you hunt. It's also useful at a conference if you meet someone. Paper business cards are still lovely, but increasingly out of general use, I've found. But if you have LinkedIn ready on your phone on the top page, you can use the QR code and swap details and connect live. A small hack if you're in a place where you're meeting lots of people at once. After you've made the connection, you can either ask to take a selfie so that they land in your photo roll for a post-conference to-do list, or you take a screen grab of the contact you've just made on LinkedIn. Again, it drops into your photo roll as a post-conference to-do. And maybe one of the most powerful uses of LinkedIn on the hunt is identifying the job opportunity before it is advertised or even created. So let's say I have a contact, Marissa, who has co-funded and leads a high-growth startup and has just secured millions in a funding round. She does not have any job descriptions yet, but she's delighted and grateful to have the new funding and announces it on LinkedIn, or a narrower publication that is then posted on LinkedIn. Because you were connected and following her news, you could approach her. Dear Marissa, brilliant news on the X Million. I've been following your growth trajectory since you and I both graduated from Y, and what you do is right in my sweet spot of A and B. I am bringing E and F and would love to chat about what roles you might need as you expand geographically into that new region that you know you're moving into. And I can help write up what's needed. Marissa will likely be really appreciative of both its personal targeted outreach and the help to get them to their next stage. And remember, even if that didn't appeal to you, the flip side is likely also true. If you wait for vacancies, you're the few hundredth person to see that job vacancy, while someone else has offered their services for that internship and offered to write that job description up. So do go for a vacancy if you see it and think it's either perfect or really good. But I'm just suggesting a reframe in terms of where you think you'll actually find the job. It could be helping the person you get hold of to write the job, not just step into the job that's already created. And keep your network and community current. Keep an eye on both the potential people tab of that spreadsheet and the progress opportunities tab. For days that have stretched too long since you last reach out, remember the hustle columns. On the other hand, also give yourself some grace and don't stop yourself from reconnecting if it's been a few years. Now let's combine your pitch that you developed in the priorities module and your network to consider your specific approach to a stakeholder. Maybe somebody that could be helpful or somebody who is actively hiring. I think the first thing here is to seek first to understand, then be understood. What is their current position in their organization? And what might their priorities be, both the individuals and the organizations? Where are they now? The best way to get introduced, I think, is typically a warm introduction from a common contact that you hopefully both respect. Here I want to cover the SCFE, the self-contained forwardable email. This term I think was coined and certainly came to me via Chris Frelick, who is an engaging read on the subject, and we include his articles in the course notes. Once you've established with a close connection the willingness to introduce you to a person on your hunt, the idea is, can you send someone an email that will take them a second to forward? Why does it work so well? Well, from the connector's point of view, say that's me to help you, it's easy to do so. I'm more likely to agree to it and then do it. From your point of view, you've got everything you want your key person you want to talk to read, wrapped up and packaged by someone that they trust. It's much more likely to be read, much more likely to be responded to. When done well, the person in the middle can forward your email with just one line. Dear so-and-so, this person's amazing. Please check out below. I guarantee it won't be a waste of your time. Can I put you two together? Note that you will not necessarily be copied initially. I think it is not only best practice, but also something you find often in senior circles, that the connector wants to protect their cherished connection with your target and give them an out. Ask them for positive clearance to introduce. From your point of view, I believe that it is good practice to proactively offer this email the person can forward, the SCFE, to reduce the workload. And it's also good practice to not expect to be copied, but to be ready to nudge your connector if you haven't heard back for a while. Having said that warm introductions are better, please don't be deterred from unsolicited reach-outs. I think they still work well when targeted and infused with your two triangles and really tailored to your recipient. Do make them personal. If I feel like I've been individually targeted, in a good way of course, then I'm much more likely to respond versus getting the feeling that I'm on the receiving end of a mass mailer. Do be clear why you're reaching out and quickly. Imagine the busy person you're trying to reach is catching up on non-essential email before or after an exceptionally busy day. Assume for your brevity's sake that it's being read on a phone and in transit. Please choose carefully from your two triangles what you want to share. You might only mention 1 point from each side and one very short story summary, or 2 points from what you're looking for and 2 on what you bring. But you have researched that, and so that these are important to your recipient. Think of your inner work of the two triangles as being your core version, and then each approach probably calls for a slightly different variation every time. Think of it as a master version and smaller copies, or a hub and spokes. Quick thought here. As you tailor these reach-outs, does your core master version of the two triangles change or improve over time? I imagine it can, and I suggest that it does. And what if you don't get a response? Please don't take it personally, and do chase the yes or the no. In sales, a no is worthwhile and should be in the hunt too. You've run the lead down and worked out that there's nothing there for now. Same with connections that could lead you to your next role. Don't assume a non-response means no, and please don't take it personally. Next, play focus. It's much more likely that your note was not seen and went below the fold, never to be seen again. Unless you find a way for it to resurface. Zoe Chance, celebrated Yale School of Management faculty and author, has published an excellent book, Influence is Your Superpower. A great read for the hunt and also in the course notes. And she has a wonderful phrase in there suggesting you become the friendly Brontosaurus. Just a way to keep coming back into the frame, top of the inbox, munching your grass, still here, still waiting, keep coming back. That could mean in job hunt terms, from the plain vanilla, just resurfacing my email below, to saw this article and thought of your organization, wondering if you had a chance to review my email below, previous email attached. To a near last attempt, I'm guessing that chat would not work for you right now, but would really appreciate a one-line response to confirm it's either not the right time or you may have just missed my earlier notes. Again, reattach below for reference. Please ensure that the tone and the content of each of these reach outs and re-forwards feel like yours and not carbon copies of my very quick examples there. If you would like a comical aside, I consider Zoe a mentor of mine. And so I used Friendly Brontosaurus as the title of my nth email to get her to notice my request for a meeting amongst her busy inbox. And the meeting subsequently happened. Through all this, and as I flagged at the very start of the course, I'm really emphasizing the human-to-human aspect of a great hunt. Finding the right people to authentically connect with, demonstrate your infectious enthusiasm, which will be real because of the two triangles that you've got right, and then cultivate their enthusiasm for you. In this increasingly automated, AI-powered world, this approach to the hunt might not be able to fully replace your AI-assisted cover letter to come up against the hirer's AI-powered applicant screening software, but it really will set you up for a human-assisted process through that organization, hopefully to the right role for you.